Hey everybody, Michael Double X the Beast here with Andy, Sheblindedmewithrefractors. We got a little bit of a different video today. I would say completely different.
Certainly different than anything I've ever done, for sure.
We've moved over, to where we're doing a lot of comic books. We've been quote unquote doing CPR on them. The comic term for pressing and cleaning and that sort of thing, and trying to improve some grades. And this is actually our first CGC order. We've got it back here. We have not looked at the grades. We got two boxes here. One's a vintage order, one's a modern order. It's a total of 17 books.
We have 17. Yeah, there's 4 in one box and 13 in another.
And I've got our predictions right here of what we thought they would be. Some of these were graded previously. Some of them are my books. Some of them are mine and Andy's together. It's kind of a mixture of everything. Some of them I already owned. Andy's very new to the comic book world.
It's going to be very interesting because with these predictions, I mean, who knows? I could be way off on some of my predictions because I know just enough to be dangerous at this point.
I agree.
I'm learning, but obviously you've done this a lot longer. You've probably got a little bit better grasp on things, but we'll see. I'm interested to see. I just want to see if we even remotely know what we're doing.
So I've owned 1 million comic books over the years. I've owned 1 million graded comic books. I've sent books to other people to press and grade for me, but this is the first time I've ever sent straight to CGC myself.
Yeah.
And we've only been pressing now for a couple months, 3 months? Yeah, a couple months. We've been learning. So these are our practice books to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're in for. I really don't.
For anybody out there that likes to see these videos where people fail and you like to see grown men cry, you could get to see it.
It's possible.
It's possible. We'll see.
We used to have grown men talking baseball cards. This could be just grown men crying.
It's in the realm of outcomes, for sure.
It is.
So
we're going to do the vintage order first.
Let's do the vintage order, 4 books.
We're going to crack that out. If it takes too long while we're unboxing these things, we'll fast forward through it. So anyways, I'm going to turn around here and rip this one open, and I'm going to try to not look at anything other than the top one.
Okay.
There's no way to avoid that, right?
I'm just going to sit here, look into the camera, and let everyone see the fear in my eyes right now.
So first, Andy did not do predictions on the 4 vintage ones. We had sent them off before the other order, and so I got those sent out. And also on that note, these orders were unbelievably fast.
Yes,
they received the vintage order. I believe it was on the 14th or 15th of January. And we got the grades on the 22nd, or they popped on the 22nd and said it was shipped.
And then today is what is today? The 25th,
26th, whatever today is. And the modern order, Andy shipped them out. I don't remember what day, but I think they received them on the 17th.
Yes. And
those grades popped and they shipped on the 21st or 22nd. 21st, I believe.
And we just got these in, 30 minutes ago?
Yeah, they just came in 30 minutes ago. So I mean, and both orders, even though they didn't pop the same day, and the vintage order was shipped 1 day later, they actually got here at the same time.
Yeah.
Unbelievably fast. And we did fast track these for the learning experience. We wanted to see how we were doing. So we did pay the extra money to get the fast track. But I have Elite membership at CGC because of the cards. So we get an extra 20% off. So it wasn't too bad.
Basically before, we got to give CGC props before we start dogging them for giving us bad grades. So super fast.
Do we even know what bad grades would be or good grades yet?
I don't know, man.
The answer's no. The answer's no.
All right.
Okay. So these 4 vintage comic books are Amazing Spider-Man 66 and Avengers 55. Both of those are mine.
Yep.
And then together we have Monsters on the Prowl, I believe it's 15. I think it's the number.
Right.
And then Captain America 117, the first appearance of the Falcon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull out the first one. I don't know which one. I don't know what order they're going to be in.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pull out the first one.
I'm going to set this stand.
Yeah, set the stand up here.
And we'll try to give people like a close-up view of the book and grade first, and then we'll set it on the stand maybe.
Okay, and I think I'm going to be able to pull these out because there's a rubber band around. So, yep, I'm going to be able to see this. Okay, so I'm trying to not look at the grade on the back. And I'm not sure what, I think I can hold it. I saw the grade. Unfortunately, I did the wrong side. So this is amazing, and that's an awesome grade, by the way. I was really happy with that one as soon as I saw it.
I haven't seen it yet.
So this is Amazing Spider-Man 66. And I guessed an 8.0. Andy was with me when I bought this.
Yeah.
And it got a 9.2.
That's a good start.
That's a tremendous start. What did I give? 60, 80 bucks for that one in person here in Oklahoma City in a shop.
You had it as an 8.0.
I had it as an 8.0.
These, like Michael said, I didn't guess on these. The only one that I kind of guessed on was the Captain America 117.
117. I believe you thought it was a 4, and I had it as a 4.5 when we get to that one. But I thought this one was an 8. It has a couple problems, but it looks amazing. And it was, no pun intended, Amazing Spider-Man.
Let me take a look at it.
Yeah, go ahead and look at it. But it it presents obviously really well, and that's a very early Spider-Man book, very popular cover. It was
looks really good.
The guy that owned the comic shop. He said that he had already had it pressed. I got it in hand, and I could still see some things that I could improve. I fixed a few spine ticks. I cleaned it in a couple spots, ran it through the press 3 or 4 times, and that was it. This one was pretty simple. So 9.2, I think a 9.2 is $450 book. So that's
a good start.
That's a really good start. So an 8.0, and it comes back a 9.2. It does have one little color breaking crease on the front, and it has like a tape pull on it that I noticed when I was looking at it. And that was about it. It was a pretty good looking book. I mean, obviously coming back at 9.2.
9.2, that's a good one, that one.
And so, anyways, okay. So
no tears yet, guys. I mean, we're only through one book.
No, we're only through. A lot of stuff can happen.
There's a lot that can happen.
So I've got both sides covered. So this is my Avengers 55.
Okay.
We're getting both. They're in the order that they were on the listing.
Okay, well that's good.
Avengers 55, and I thought this was a 9.0. It is tan, and I don't. That's the one thing I don't know how they're.
That's one of many things we don't know.
But I for sure don't know on that.
Okay.
So I had it down as a 9.0. This is the first Ultron. I really want to take it out. Once I show the grade, I'll take it out of the sleeve so we can see it better. First Ultron. It's a big book. I think I gave $80 for this raw about 6 months ago. So pretty decent. And 8.5. So I mean, that's close to
close.
That's not like a big shocker. And I of course I'm gonna have to go back and look at all the grader notes.
That's going to be interesting, and kind of like when we do look at the graders notes, see if like the things that we were seeing are also what they're seeing, because that's really what we're wanting to do on this first batch is kind of learn like what are they looking for? Are we looking at the same things they are?
Yeah, but 8.5 in this book.
Yeah,
that's a nice grade.
It's a good looking book.
Yeah, I mean it looks really good, but like I said, it is tan on the back, the front. It does have that. Not a lot of color breaks. It was really filthy, extremely filthy when I started cleaning it. But when I bought it, I knew it didn't have a bunch of major problems, and it really cleaned good. You remember how when I was working on it, it
looks good though in the slab.
It looks good. The colors are bright. I think the tanning is the big. I think that's going to be the big thing. It wouldn't surprise me if the graders notes say something about that.
What were you thinking on the page quality? It's got off-white.
Off-white, yeah, on that one. I think the other one was worse. Off-white to white. No, that one was better. Off-white to white. This one was worse. Yeah. That book, I just don't think was stored very well over time. Had a lot of grime on it, a lot of oxidation in terms of the coloring on the outside and inside. So I'm guessing Monsters on the Prowl.
All right, so what we've learned so far is we haven't been, I mean, I guess you were within half a grade on that one. The first one we weren't really that close, but it was in a good way.
In a good way. I knew it was a nice looking book. I knew there was chances for it to be. So
it's going to be interesting to see once we see all these grades, like how close are we? Like whether it's good or bad, or the grade. But
Oh, this is Captain America. So this is Captain America 117.
I thought this was a 4.
I got it down as a 4.5.
This is one of the first books we bought together in a lot.
It was raw.
Probably wouldn't have done that, knowing what we know now.
Of course not. Yeah. But it's a big book. It's the first Falcon. I mean, it's worthy of grading in almost any grade.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. 5.0. I'll take a 5.0 on that one. I mean, let's take it out of here.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's a pleasant surprise. We were in the right range. I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be like a 2.0 or a 1.0 where it's completely destroyed. It has one major crease in it. And the back is very clean compared to the front. The front just has, like, I don't know if you can see the one bad crease going down it. It's here, just point it towards me a little bit. Right up here in this corner, going down through the book. And it is I would say severe.
Yeah, and then on the back you got
some paper loss.
You got some paper loss. I don't know if they can see that.
You have to go down. Yeah, you can see it on the blue.
You can see it there. Yeah.
But
so we knew this was a lower grade book, but
it cleaned pretty good. Like, it had some dirt in the white spots. It cleaned good. It pressed pretty good. It's it's a nice mid grade copy. That's kind of what we thought. It's even a little bit nicer than we thought. What was the page quality? Off-white to white. That sounds about right.
Yeah, and so this is all learning for me, because like a couple months ago, like I had no idea what a spine tick or a spine roll or color breaking crease. It's fun. I've had a lot of fun with this.
And so far, all 3 books that we've showed, they were all raw. Yeah. This next book, however, was graded. I think it was a 9.2. Was it 9.2, 9.0, something like that, I believe.
Yeah,
it's Monsters on the Prowl 15.
Right.
But this was a crack out, and Andy.
Is this one of the books we had a lot of trouble with?
We had a ton of trouble. Andy worked on it for a while first.
Yeah,
and as soon as we cracked it out, we both said that book was overgraded.
Yeah,
like we immediately knew we probably shouldn't have cracked it out. It was overgraded, but it Monsters on the Prowl, and we knew it immediately, but as time went on, Andy took care of all the creases on it, and then I did, what would you say, extreme tack iron work?
Yeah.
Is that what you would say?
I would say, yeah. We spent a lot of time on this one.
We spent a lot of time on this one, and we were just hoping to get it back up to the grade that it originally was. My grade prediction is a 9.2, and I believe that's what it was.
I'm all over the place. I think that I'm going to be off quite a bit on these grades, but the one thing that I was pretty sure on this one, that it was originally overgraded.
Yes, I was too.
It didn't take a lot of knowledge to know that.
We kind of thought like an 8.0, 7.5, 8.0, I thought.
Once it was cracked out, yeah.
It had major spine problems, but not color breaking.
Yeah.
But so there was some hope for it. How you feeling this one?
I'm gonna say like a 8.5.
8.5? How about a 9.4? Would you take a 9.4?
I'll take a 9.4. And I'll take a 9.4 for sure.
Its colors were perfect. It wasn't faded. It didn't have any major damage out in the middle of it. It had some creasing, some spine ticks. It had the major part, I would say, major dents around the staples and on the spine in places, but they didn't break the color.
It's a really cool cover.
It is a cool cover. Just one of these, early 70s horror books, and it's not a big name book, but it is one that's hard to find in high grade, which is why we purchased it originally. The Bronze Age horror, it's very popular right now, obviously, and a lot of these covers are great, and
that's nice.
It's a really nice.
This one, I think, out of all the books we kind of talked earlier, I think this is the one we were the most concerned about. Right?
The Dead of Night 11. When we get over
to
this,
okay. I
forgot
about that one.
We've got a Dead of Night 11 that book and this one we were working on at the same time. They were horrible. They were horribly overgraded to start with. We shouldn't have cracked them out. They were stubborn. I mean, every problem you can run across, they had them. Some of them not fixable. The Dead of Night had more non-fixable issues.
Yeah.
So, but this one gives me hope on it.
Yeah, so go ahead and get that one going, that box.
Yeah. Let me slip this over to the side.
Yeah, like those two books, when we were working on those at the same time, like it was like a daily call that we would have where we were both just complaining about these two books because they were just such a nightmare.
They were brutal.
We spent hours on these books.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And they're not cheap books either. I mean, they're not crazy, like high end.
Yeah.
But they're, they're $100, $150 books or something, so they're pretty expensive, quote unquote, practice books.
It's like we're talking about $100, $150 books, and a lot of people out there watching may be like, well, that's not that expensive. But it seems like it's expensive when you're working on them and you're not totally sure if you know what you're doing.
Agreed.
So it's a little stressful.
So I'm already seeing this top book.
Okay.
And this is a really bad sign.
It's a bad sign.
This is bad. And the reason this is bad is this is not a blue label.
Okay.
So
that's
I've already seen the gray, but I'm going to cover it up when I pull it up here.
That's interesting.
Just the way these are, I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the bag while I do it.
This first book you're talking about, was it one that was cracked out?
No, this was the X-Men 133, and this was one that we thought might come back a qualified because this is a Mark Jewers edition.
Oh, okay,
I know. And this is a personal book of mine. The Mark Jewers insert, the perforations were torn in one spot, and a little piece of it's missing. So we didn't know, was it going to come back a blue and they just hammer me with the grade? Was it going to come back qualified because something's missing? Clearly that's what happened.
Okay.
Andy, you had it down as a 6.5. I had it as a 7.5. Like I said, this one's not a big shock on the qualified. That's why I'm not upset because we knew it could happen. We'll see what the grade is. 7.0. So right in the middle of where we were at.
Right in the middle of where we were at.
So we were close. And you want to read the
white
label.
pages.
White pages. This was a really clean book. It has a bad tape pull up here in the
So it's a
corner.
CGC qualified grade, piece cut from Mark Jewelers insert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that makes sense.
But it's
I think you kind of knew that was a possibility.
This was a trial book because a lot of people don't know, but I'm a Mark Jewelers fanatic. I love to collect them just because they're rare within, when you're looking for other books and things. So this one's not a shock, but when you show the front again, up here by the 40-cent label, you'll see a horrible tape pull. Other than that, it's a pretty good-looking book, really good-looking book. It cleaned up good. I fixed some spine ticks on it, cleaned it really good. The whites, they look great. The X-Men, a lot of times you'll see is faded up here in the trade dress, and then Wolverine, he'll be faded. He's not. He looks good. 7.0 qualified. Not a shocker. Like, it's really not a shocker at all.
Yeah, I like how it just split our predictions.
I mean, but
obviously we didn't predict that it was going to be qualified, but it's not surprising.
We talked about it though. We
didn't know how they were going to deal with it.
We talked. We knew that was a possibility.
So that's good to know. That's something that
that's a learning and
we can use going forward.
Okay.
Wow. Well, so far.
So this is
pretty good.
So this is a book that this one was cracked out. This was a CGC 7.0.
Yeah.
Bought it locally with Andy. We went to a local shop. Saw a lot of problems through it that I thought, I can fix those. Got it out of the case. Saw even more problems that I said, I can't fix those. Impossible to fix those.
Yeah.
But this book and an Amazing Spider-Man 252 newsstand that we'll see here shortly, those two books I learned more than everything else combined by working on those two.
How many hours did you spend on this book?
Several hours, multiple.
Right.
3, 4. Like when we say worked on, we're not talking about time in the press.
No.
We're talking about time on the table,
right?
Working on it and steaming, tack ironing, taking creases out, just all these things. So on this book here, you thought an 8.5. You were giving a lot of credit. I said an 8.0.
I'm giving you a lot of credit for the time put in. So I'm not. I mean, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. You knew what you were doing.
It looks way better. It has a major crease at the top that color breaks, and then a few spine ticks that color break that you just can't do anything. Let's see the grade. 7.5.
Okay, so obviously I have no clue what I'm doing.
Well,
as far as predicting the grade,
it's an improvement, and I know it looks better. You know, because like I said, I worked on it so much. Take it out of the sleeve.
Yeah. So it did go up half a grade from what it was.
You know, but when he turns it back around up here by the Marvel, I don't know how well to be able to show, but as a major color breaking crease going down. I took the dented part out. I fixed all that, cleaned all this. It was really dirty. It has some color breaking spine ticks, you know, going throughout it that you can't do anything about. And I see one issue here. When you turn it back around, I want to show something.
Okay.
One of these corners looks dinged. And this is not, I don't like to be one of those people, well, CGC damaged my book. Look on the back.
It was on the back of the book?
Yeah. Right here looks like it's a little ding. And I don't remember that. I worked on it countlessly. I don't want to say, oh, they damaged my book, but did I damage it when I was sending it, when I was putting it into the sleeve before I sent it? I don't know, but I can clearly see a little ding there that I don't remember. But regardless, would it change the grade? Probably not. A 7.5, 8.0, that's kind of what I thought it was. So
huge G.I. Joe fan as a kid, so I love this book.
Sure. The Silent Issue, Larry Hama,
White pages. You got white pages?
White pages. Yeah. I want to say it did not have white pages before. Like, as the grade, I didn't touch the pages on it.
Put this stack over here.
We're ready for the next book?
Oh, I'm ready. I think I am anyways. I don't know. I need some more of those good surprises.
Yeah. You and me both.
I don't know how much.
This one came out of the sleeve when I was doing it. So this is one of our Ghost Riders, and this is V2, V2 number 1. So version 2 of Ghost Rider, the Danny, what's his name? Danny Kelch or whatever. I can't remember his name. It's his first appearance, and these are newsstands. We had, how many of these did we buy?
8.
I
think we sent in 2.
Sent in 2.
This was another one of our really early buys.
Yeah, and these books, anybody that wants to work on one of these, they are horribly difficult. The black cover, there's a reason why they sell well as a 9.8. They're tough. One of these we had down, so Andy had both of them down as a 9.6.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them in here. I had one down as a 9.8, one as a 9.6. I thought one clearly looked much better than the other.
Okay.
We'll see what this one is. 9.2. So, with white pages, we knew it would be white pages because they're, that part looked good. But that's
not good.
It's not good. Yeah, it's not good, as Andy just said.
9.2.
But they're tough. There's, if they've got problems outside of pressing, there's not a lot you can do.
The back, I think the back on I'll show the back of this one.
The corner.
In a second. Yeah, I think that's what ultimately got us. We didn't know how they were going to judge it.
There's stuff stuck to it. The backs have print dots on them on a lot of them.
I don't know if they can see that.
Yeah.
Corner.
Not sure.
Get in
Yeah, you can see it a little bit. Yeah, that corner has a ding to it. And all 8 of them were like that. Some worse than others. We sent 2 of them in that we thought were not as severe.
All right, so knowing that one of them's a 9.2, is this the one that you thought, hopefully this is not the one you thought was clearly better?
I sure hope not.
Okay.
I sure hope not. Hopefully this is the one I thought was a 9.6.
Yeah. Well, it's not good for me because I thought both of them were 9.6s.
Yeah, that's really not good for you at all.
If that's the one that you thought was better, I don't want to see this next one.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, so these packages are...
All right, well that one's a little disappointing, but
Sorry, I'm over here having to pull these out of the box.
Hopefully we're going to be able to evaluate these after the video and kind of see what we missed or see what they saw that we didn't.
Okay. I'm going to do these upside down so I can't see the grade.
Okay.
So, sorry for taking a while here. And I did see that on the top was the other
The other Ghost Rider?
The other Ghost Rider.
Well, yeah,
So,
let's go with that one.
And this one, I've got the sleeve on it. So this is yet another Ghost Rider. And
are we going to do better than the first one?
yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes. I didn't see the grade when I pulled it out, but I'm going to say yes.
I hope.
We're bounty. We ready to see it?
Yeah.
9.6.
Okay.
So,
So this is the one you thought was clearly better.
I knew one of them I thought was tremendously better than the other.
Yeah.
Which I think a 9.6, with what we paid for them in grading fees, we'll make a little bit of money on a 9.6 if I remember right. 9.2 is probably a loss.
Yeah, hopefully it'll offset.
So, but we're not worried about making money on this first order. We've talked about this a lot between ourselves. This is just learning. We're learning.
All right, so we got the 9.6. That's
What was his name? I always want to say his name wrong. Yeah, Dan Ketch. Danny Ketch is the next Ghost Rider. So I said it earlier. Okay, we got Amazing Spider-Man 252, and I'm gonna try to hide that grade real quick.
This is one of your books, right?
I've got two Amazing Spider-Man 252s in here that are mine. This is the newsstand. This is the one that is clearly not as nice as the other. The direct issue is way better. And this was the book I said, along with the G.I. Joe 21, that I learned an amazing amount.
So on the newsstand, you had this one as a 7.5. I had it as a 7.0.
And to be clear, when I first got I got this about 6 months ago in a big lot. Got it stupid cheap. And when I first got this in, I literally thought this was like a 6.0. I worked on it a lot, had major creases in it, spine ticks just for everywhere. But I fixed a lot. So let's see
how much you fixed.
7.5.
7.5.
So I was spot on. And like I said, I can only measure it from where it started to now, and it's a drastic improvement. Like I know it is.
I know. Like on the top edge here, there was a little issue. There's some spine.
Yeah, there's some color breaking creases, down here by this hand and some other places. Things you just can't fix, but it presents well. It's a good looking book. It lays really flat. Good. It's the back's got a couple of, you can see spine ticks in the black. There's nothing you can do about that. But it learned a tremendous amount. And I worked on this one first. I got this one 3 or 4 months before I got the direct issue. I was able to apply everything I learned from this one straight to the direct issue. And that's also why I thought it was significantly a better grade to me.
So we're thinking, okay, so we'll see if this next one is better. Hopefully it will be.
One of my favorite covers ever.
But we weren't too far off on this.
No, I was spot on with what
I mean, honestly, so far, we haven't been just terribly off.
I got a feeling there's going to be one.
In my mind, I was thinking that I just don't want to say that one of these is going to get a 9.6 and it gets a 6.0 or 7.0.
Yeah.
Or I just I'm just trying to save face here.
Yeah. It's a good.
I don't want to just be getting absolutely roasted in the comments.
No, but that's okay if we do. If we do, it's all right. So
it's not okay.
Well, it's okay to me. So here's the other Amazing Spider-Man 252. This is the direct issue. I got this probably in November. I bought this in a big lot on eBay. I just happened to be the first person who saw it. Hit the buy it now at $50. Remember that?
Yeah,
$50 with free shipping and with a bunch of other Amazing Spider-Man books. So I'm not in this book very much.
You have it as a 9.0. I have it as an 8.5.
Yeah.
It seems like I'm just a little bit more pessimistic in general, I think.
Well, I think that's fair from what we've seen. I think it's pretty fair in a lot of them. But this book, this is a book that I did a 9.0 and my gut told me it could be higher. And I went back and watched. I shot a video when I first got it in, when I was evaluating it. And I went back and looked at it, and I actually thought it was higher at that point. It had major creases, major problems when I got it, but I was able to fix a lot of it. So, we ready to see this?
You've lost so much weight lately. Let's see if your gut still works.
Yeah, it may not work.
I don't know. Let's see.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
9.2?
9.2.
I'll take a 9.2 on that one.
Absolutely.
You want to pull it out of the
Absolutely. I'll take a 9.2 on that.
So, thought it was a 9.0, but like I said, I thought there was a chance it could be a lot higher.
This one, I remember this because it doesn't have the same damage on that top edge that the first one had, but it did have that waviness that you had to work out.
A lot of waviness. When I say major creases, 2 of them. Something had been said on it. Yeah. Oh, and when I got the lot in, none of the books were bagged or boarded. So this book, and it was in an old, I don't even know, plastic sleeve that you would put in a binder, and no telling how long it had been sitting like that. So it was dirty, but it looked great. I knew I could fix a lot of it.
Yeah, you got to appreciate that when somebody just sends you one without a bag and board.
Yeah, it was in a whole stack of a bunch of them, and I was a little bit nervous, but then I got it out, and I was like, okay, I can work with this,
Yeah.
And the price was right, $50,
That works. I mean, we both actually undershot the grade on this one, which is good.
Which is good, right? We've only done that a couple of times so far, but like I said, I thought that one had a shot, Okay.
All right.
So this one is Amazing Spider-Man 238. And this is one of mine that I've had for a little while. It does have the tattoo, so it got the blue label, not qualified. It looks, I don't want to say perfect. It's got a couple spine ticks. So Andy has it down as a 9.4, and I have it down as a 9.2.
That's weird. I have it higher.
You do, yeah. Really, this is one of those ones I'm like, okay, this should be a high grade book. We ready to find out?
Let's see what it is.
An 8.0. So that's pretty disappointing. So this might be one that I crack out and read the notes and take another stab at that one. It does have 3 spine ticks that break the color. So it's not. I'm not going to say it's perfect. I mean, obviously, I didn't think it was a 9.8 or anything.
It looks really good,
but it's a really good looking book. It looks good, and I worked on it quite a bit. And
so you see what happens whenever I predict a higher grade.
Yeah, and you can see right here. There's in the middle when he flips it around. You can see
on the
you can see there's some color breaks and everything. So. It's, the way I always look at it, you send your books off to a third-party company or cards or whatever you're doing for their opinion. They give you their opinion. They're calling it an 8.0. In my opinion, I probably missed something. But I do think that this book may be one that I'm going to crack out and read. I'm going to read the notes first. Crack out, maybe see if I can fix a little bit more and send it back in.
I think that one's about as far off as I've been on a book so far.
Yeah. I mean, me too. I mean, obviously. And
I said a 9.4, and it got an 8.
Yeah. It's got the white pages, though.
Yeah. It does have the white pages.
It's one of my favorite covers, and first Hobgoblin. And that was a little bit disappointing, but, obviously I missed something on it.
That's my bad, guys.
Here's the one I've been dreading. Just because this is, if I had to say there's one that could be anywhere from, a 9.6 to a 6.5.
Oof.
It's this one. And this one was, we talked about earlier, one of the most stubborn books imaginable. The colors look great on it. It's the first Scarecrow appearance, big Ghost Rider villain. Got a lot of good going with it, but it was, what was it graded? Was it a 9.0, 9.2, something like that?
9.2, I want to say.
9.2. I think that's right.
And you have it as 9.6, right?
I have it as a 9.6. You have it as a 9.4.
I hope one of us is right.
This once we cracked it out and started working on it, I think this is a sunken cost fallacy, and I put my grade really high, but this one could be anywhere. It literally could be anywhere.
All right.
Do we want to see it?
Not really, but yeah, let's see it.
Oh, God, 8.0. So that's 2 books in a row that we thought were in the 9s that come back in 8.0.
Yeah.
But it does have this major color break at the top. And when I say major color break, it's it's a 1/4 inch long spine tick.
It's there. I mean,
it's there. But other than that, the book looks pretty good. The colors are awesome. It's a great looking book. Like, I don't want to dog on it, but this one was graded a 9.2. When Andy and I pulled it out of the original holder, one of us thought potentially an 8.0, and one of us I think thought like a 7.5.
Yeah.
So. And the book fell about right there, despite improving it.
Sadly, I think this one was like so overgraded that even though we did improve it, we still didn't even get anywhere close to what it was.
No, and also, I don't mind saying this on camera. This is one that Andy and we even talked about after the fact. Did this one get replaced? Because this was in a little bit older holder, and the sides of it were. They don't seal as good, so it was open, kind of not sealed tight. Where maybe did somebody pull one out at one point, put it back in? We don't have any proof of that, other than the condition the book was in when we pulled it out of the holder.
It didn't look good when we got it out.
No, it didn't. So I'm not disappointed, and I'm not surprised.
I'm a little disappointed just because I know how much time we spent on it. But
that's
true. It is what it is.
But like I said, it does look great. Like, it presents really good. I mean, it is a beautiful. The back is really nice. It's that one big color break on the front. Definitely, I know that hurts it really bad.
Yeah.
And that color break was there, if you remember, one before we took it out.
Yeah.
And then the corners, I don't know the right term for this, but they were blunted and scrunched in. As soon as we pressed it, and it's almost like an accordion, they flattened out, and that color break just, it shined. You could see it, but it was already there. We didn't cause that or anything.
Yeah.
So that was the book that actually I most feared, because the wide range.
Yeah.
And that proved right. We clearly
we were way off.
We were way off. So
we were way off on that one.
So here's a really fun book that both Andy and I both like. Also, the Scarecrow book, Dead of Night 11, Andy and I, that was one we split, and so is this one, Thundercats, #1. And this is a direct issue. This book was pretty clean from the beginning. It had some waviness to it. It had some creases, but not even.
It wasn't.
I would say no major.
Wasn't
problem.
anything major with this one.
This one was cleaning it a little bit. Pressed it. How many times did you press it? 6 or 8 times,
maybe. I don't even know if I pressed it that many times. Steamed it.
Yeah. So this one. Where's it at? So I thought this was a 9.8.
Yeah.
And Andy has it down as a 9.6.
I mean, we seem to do better when I'm like the pessimistic
I agree.
person.
So all right, well, let's take a look at it. So 9.4. So I would say this one's pretty disappointing because this book looks amazing. I mean, it really does. We'll have to read the notes on this one.
Yeah.
If it's something that's maybe we missed a small crease or something, that one may be one that we look at cracking out as well. Just because I know it's so clean.
I mean, if there's anything.
Those notes are going to be pretty important on this book.
But I don't see anything crazy that is sticking out right off the bat.
This
not
book
to say that it's not there, but I'm just saying I don't see it.
I think this book, when we got it in, was probably like a 9.0, don't you think? And so, we improved it. Andy improved it. He actually did all of it on this one. I don't even think, did I even touch this one? I don't think I did.
I don't think so. I mean, there wasn't a lot to do, really. At least I didn't think there was. But
it's got the white pages.
We definitely missed something.
You definitely missed something. We'll look at the notes on that one.
I just love this cover.
It's awesome. I mean, it's just an awesome book. If you're in our age range, it's a
This is kind of like a staple.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't want to say I'm disappointed with this one because you're talking minute points. There's probably 2 or 3 little things we probably missed.
Yeah.
But that's one we definitely need to take a look at.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because there's a lot of difference between a 9.4 to 9.8.
Yeah.
In terms of value.
And thought that was probably our best chance at a 9/8.
Other than the one new book that I had.
Okay.
You know, that one. I'd be pretty upset if that one wasn't.
Yeah, because we didn't have a whole lot of 9/8s predicted on here.
No, we didn't. This is one of them though. X-Men 117, Uncanny X-Men 117. It's actually before they called it Uncanny, but this one, Andy has it down as a 9/8. Yeah. I have it as a 9/6.
Oh, so I'm the high person on this one.
Yeah, this book was beautiful when we got it in. It has two, I would say, extremely minor little color breaks on spine ticks. And
we hope that's all.
Well, that we noticed, you know, that we're for sure. We pressed this one several times. Didn't have to do anything crazy to it, I wouldn't say, but we ready to see this grade?
Let's see it.
It's at 9.4.
Mm.
So that was disappointing. That's another one we might have to take a look at.
4, okay. Yeah, that is.
And this is a key book in terms of Uncanny X-Men run. This is the first Shadow King. You know, it's a John Byrne cover, John Byrne art. You know, so it's a big book in terms of everything. But you know,
yeah, I didn't. I mean, just like briefly looking, I didn't see anything that really stood out. But
yeah, that's
obviously I didn't see anything that stood out before we seen it either. So
no.
That would make sense.
So that one's a little bit of a disappointment, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it was such a clean book.
Yeah.
Such really a good looking book.
Okay.
And it still is. I mean, it looks, you know, outstanding book. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking, like when you get up into the 9/4s, 9/6s, 9/8s, I mean, you're talking like minor details. A lot of this stuff you can't even see with the naked eye.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, especially at a distance. Like, if you're looking at this book from just a distance, I mean, it looks perfect.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously grading is, you're going to look at it more closely.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it is. So, all right.
That one was, I'd say a little bit of disappointment. So here's the X-Men 125. And this one, we both had this down as a 9/8. And after seeing the 117, I'm a little bit nervous because I thought 117 was maybe the better looking overall, but I put 117 at a 9/6 because of the two spine ticks. This one didn't really have that. This was a pretty good looking book, I thought.
I'm going to be honest. So far with these results, we don't have a lot of credibility when it comes to 9/8.
No, we don't.
So
we don't. So you know, this one, it wouldn't shock me at all if it came back at 9/4, 9/6, something like that. But
okay,
you want to see?
Let's see.
Oof, 9/0. That one's really disappointing. That's one we definitely have to read the notes. It does have a little bit of a spine roll, which we noticed. Got white pages. It's a, you know, I mean, it looked great. And,
okay.
You know, I just don't.
Remember there's that little dent up there on the top left.
In the black by the 40-cent mark. It's rolled a little bit, you can see, but not bad. Like
they must have got us pretty heavy on that spine roll.
Maybe. Because this is a beautiful, clean book, you know. So, that's why we're learning.
Yeah, like so right down here, you can see the spine, how the spine's rolled a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So they must have really got us on that. Wow, so that one, yeah, that's a big disappointment there. Because this is the only book that we both had as a 9/8.
It is. Well, except for the G.I. Joe variant, which is a new book.
Okay.
But out of the older ones, yes.
Okay, so that one's, we're going to have to figure out what went wrong on that one.
Yeah, read the notes. And this is another key book in X-Men lore. This is the first Proteus, Mutant X, Proteus, whatever. He's got two names. But,
yeah,
you know, so it's a pretty key book. It's one that people like. People love that cover.
It's a really cool cover.
I think it's look at the art. I'm pretty sure it's a John Byrne. Yeah, John Byrne art. Actually, it's a Dave Cockrum and Terry Austin cover. The interior art is John Byrne and Terry Austin. Of course, Chris Claremont with all the stories, but it's a great cover. It's a great book. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to like take a closer look at this one off camera and see if we can
figure it out. You know?
I'm thinking that spine roll.
Maybe that got us more than we thought it would.
Yeah, had to.
I mean, because it's a super clean book.
Because we were way off.
So this should be. This should be my Amazing Spider-Man 194 and then G.I. Joe 1 variant, which is just a newer book.
Okay.
So let's do. This is the G.I. Joe, actually, is what it is. This is a brand new book that came out. This is a variant. I can't remember which one of the artists did this variant, but it's a Baroness cover. I just thought it was cool. Grabbed it from the comic shop. If this one is not a 9.8 or higher, I would be disappointed. I might just be done grading the comic books forever. So, anyways, and of course it is a 9.8. So I would have been super disappointed if that.
So this is what a 9.8 looks like.
I mean, that's what a 9.8 looks like. It's
okay.
You know, which is just it's just one that I wanted to grab from our collection, and you know, the new Skybound run on G.I. Joe. They've kind of rebooted that. I think it was in November, I believe. Yeah, November. So grabbed it. You know, wanted to send that in. So not a big book, not that valuable. I think I gave $10 or $15 for it in the comic shop, and then plus the grading fee.
But at least you broke the seal.
The seal.
Got a 9.8. So
okay, so this last book should be Amazing Spider-Man 194.
Yep.
Andy has it down as a 5.0. I had it as a 4.5. This is just a big book, first Black Cat, that's worth grading in pretty much any grade. So wanted to send it in. Not a high value book, high grade book, anything like that, but one of the classic covers of the 70s for Amazing Spider-Man run. And 4.5. So I was spot on that one. That's, we were both right there. Not a shocking, revelation. This one, I didn't work on this one much because I didn't think it would improve very much. The covers just had quite a bit of problems.
Yeah, a lot of spine ticks.
A lot of waviness to it. And as I was working on it, I was worried about it damaging the book because it's, so much black on it. So I kind of called it good. Maybe I could have worked on it, maybe get it to a 5.0 or run the risk of damaging it, trying to. So not worth it. Just a classic cover. Great Spider-Man book. So give us your assessment.
Well, clearly we're not as accurate as I would have hoped to be on a lot of these books. There's a few of them that, we did a little bit better than what we thought, but I think it's going to be interesting to dig into the graders' notes and kind of see what we missed.
For sure.
Because I was especially off on several of them quite a bit.
My first assessment after just kind of seeing this, and Andy was setting them on the stands and that sort of thing, and I was thinking they seemingly were much easier on the vintage books.
Yeah,
and they no doubt hammer you for mistakes and flaws and things like that on modern. The vintage books I thought overall did very well. Those 4,
they really did.
I mean, were great. I thought, and those were the ones I was
more
worried about those.
We were higher on several.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Avengers 55, I thought 9.0. It came back. It came back in 8.5. I thought 9.0, but the tanning, I knew I knew I was close in the range. I thought. The Amazing Spider-Man 66. I think in 8.0 it goes up to a 9.2. The Monsters on the Prowl.
9.4
was a 9.4. I thought it was a 9.2. Even the Captain America 117. I mean, we thought it could be as low as a 3.5 or 4, and it comes back a 5. So that's my first thoughts. My second reaction is I learned a lot. I need to go compare the notes and see what they're seeing versus what we're seeing, and and work on our process a little bit.
Yeah.
It's all about and that's what I'll tell anybody that's cleaning, pressing, that sort of thing. It's about your process, really.
And it's hard. It's real hard.
It's real hard. The paper doesn't always do what you want it to. It just doesn't,
And when you watch videos from some of these guys that have done it for years, like it's kind of like watching an NBA player. Like they make hard stuff look easy.
Yes, I agree.
But you got to figure out what you're doing first, and
we got better.
We're getting there.
We all of the I would say basic stuff.
Oh yeah,
no problem. It's just you get into some of the more advanced issues and how you respond to those, and one of the most important things we've already learned: knowing when to call it quits is so big.
Yeah,
because you can just focus on something and work on it until you actually cause damage.
And we may have done that on something.
We may have. I think I'll use the Amazing Spider-Man 252s. The first one I did, the newsstand, I probably did that. I worked, I fixed a bunch of stuff, obviously, that needed to be fixed. Yeah. But I worked on that thing and worked on it. The next one I did, I'm like, okay, I know how some of this is probably going to respond. I did those things, got my results. I called it quits.
Yeah,
and then said, okay, you can't fix color breaks. That's number one, no. Right? You see a color break, typically, you stay away from it. Yeah. Unless there's like a dent around it or something like that. But anyways, enough chattering about that. It's
Well, that was fun.
It's fun. Now we got to get some more books and
see if we can do a little better next time. But
before we call it quits, that's probably the last point I want to make. If I had to say the biggest mistake we made on these, is just not knowing what to buy and what we could fix early on. Yeah. Those are so important, right? You see a book and you're like, oh, that's a 9.2. I can turn that 9.2 into a 9.8 if I just press it. That's not true.
No, not at all.
True. Not true. So, we've gotten better, I think, of observing. We've got some other books we're working on right now.
You really have to know what is fixable and what's not.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're looking for books. That's the biggest thing I've learned so far is because, like you said, like you can't just look at any 9.4, 9.6 and just think that you can automatically improve it. Like, it depends on what's wrong with it.
100%, for sure. So, anyways, you got any other closing thoughts?
I don't think that anyone saw any tears during this video. No. I mean, those might start coming shortly after we turn the camera off.
When we sell them.
No,
when we sell them, that's when the tears.
No, we'll be fine. Like we wanted to do this to learn, and I think this is gonna probably like help our process going forward after we figure out what we've missed here. So
yeah, and we want everybody to see, like, obviously Andy's pretty new. I'm a long-time collector. I've literally owned 10,000 plus books in my lifetime, maybe more. I don't even know how many, but you get to doing this. And there's a curve to learning. I mean, there's a lot of difference between owning them or buying them that are already done versus working on them.
I really want to look at, like, one of the main things about making this video, this first one, I want to be able to look back at this like a year or two later and be like, man, we didn't know anything back then. We thought we knew a little bit, but we look at how bad we were.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
That's what I want to do. So
anyways, thank everybody for watching. The three of you that'll watch this, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate all three of you.
And we'll be back with another one. Hopefully here in February. With February coming up, we're not in February yet, but with February coming up, hopefully we can get another order sent off and get it back quickly like this.
Oh, if all of them were this quick, man.
And
that'd be great.
And we got to make a decision. Do we keep paying for the fast track? Do we not? How high end of books are we going to do? We're still working on some of that. But anyways, we'll be back with another video hopefully very soon. And hopefully we'll look less like idiots at that one.
I hope so. I don't like looking like an idiot, but sometimes you gotta wear the hat.
They weren't that bad. I'll say that. They weren't too bad. There was only a couple of them that I was like, wow, that was unexpected. Overall, they were within the range we thought. I mean, somewhere.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So anyways, thanks for watching.